Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor and Procoin News, who is the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club. And yes, it is hunting season. They tweeted this out and they said they've only had 8 camo hats that ever existed, and I have one of them. And I actually wear it when I go down to the hunting club, and it is hunting season, and so they're thinking about doing another giveaway. So if you're interested in getting a camo Procoin News hat, who is one of my official sponsors, go reply to their tweet here, because they're going to do a giveaway of some sort. Also, because Ripple Swell, it starts tomorrow, my understanding, to celebrate Ripple Swell 2022, we're providing limited time value-added pricing on Ripple, included lowering our tiered pricing while supplies last through November 17th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. That is on Link2. Okay, Link2, who's one of my sponsors. And the link to this will be in the very top of the description. Click on it. Tell them DAI sent you. And this Ripple equity is against the backdrop of what we've been talking about. Now, this came out yesterday after I had done my last video. Remember, we were talking about the Fox business and how they mysteriously, some graphics guy somehow typed out that he typed out, well, I'll show you what he typed out. Let's see, get to right here. SEC versus Ripple settlement expected tomorrow, which that is a very specific phrase. But this guy somehow decided on a whim that he's going to type all of those specific words out in that order. My spidey senses have been going off ever since. Now, Jeremy Hogan says, I don't think so highly of myself, but in case we just witnessed a strange game of whisper, a strange game, that sounds like thumbnail worthy, from me to Fox News, what I said was, if the Ripple case was going to settle, the most likely time would be from September 15th to November 15th. Not that the case is going to settle on November 15th. And he's retweeting Charles Gasparino thing where he and Eleanor Terrett are saying that's false. But Eleanor Terrett was very specific. She put in parentheses, it's not going to settle on 11/15, right? Then he says, if I had known the case was settling tomorrow 2 months ago, I would not be on Twitter right now. I would be in the Bahamas preparing to buy that compound that SBF used to live in. And of course, preparing for all y'all to come to for the party. Okay. Now, so let's look what's happened since. So Natalie Brunell, who now, and I will tell you this too. This is inside baseball. I would never show anybody's conversations if they sent me a conversation in confidence, but I will tell you the gist of it. And the gist of it is that I specifically, very specifically, asked Natalie Brunell if she had heard in this whole saga. I specifically asked her if she had heard anyone in any of the conversations behind the scenes from either the SEC or Ripple or Fox Business or in any of her circles, had she heard of anyone who had said anything about a potential settlement behind the scenes. And to that, she gave me a canned answer. She would not answer that. She just kept saying, you'll have to ask Fox Business. And for that reason, my red flags go off. Okay? My spidey senses are still going off, folks. And again, I would never, I don't care who it is or what kind of a person they are, a bad guy, good guy, I don't play the game where I show people's direct messages or whatever that they send to me. That's not honorable, and that's not how I play ball. But I will tell you, she would not, because I asked several different ways. She would not give me a direct answer on that. The only thing she kept saying was, you'll have to ask Fox Business or Ripple's attorneys about that. The same thing she said publicly, which is why I'm willing to say it. All right. I'm told Fox Business News is going to run a retraction. And here's the other thing that's got my spidey senses going off, folks. Anytime these kind of rumors have happened before, Stuart Alderati or Brad Garlinghouse comes out and confirms there's nothing. Now, all we've gotten is that a Ripple source from Eleanor Terrett, okay, Ripple spokesperson, okay, we don't know who that is. We've gotten this, and then we're getting all these. Everybody seems to be dancing around semantics, and that's why my spidey senses are going on. This right here is semantics. I told Fox Business News is going to run I'm told Fox Business News is going to run a correction tomorrow for the network's graphics and for saying a settlement was expected, since that was never a claim I made or was aware of. Okay, well, still, I'm back to the graphics guy, folks. How do you type out something as specific as that unless somebody told you to? And if somebody told you to, who told you to, and why did they tell you? And how specifically did they tell you to type this out? Because somebody, and then you go back, and then the other thing is, why was this so obviously a setup to try to compare FTX to Ripple, like to draw a parallel line? Because that was done in that piece. And why did the whole piece seem like Maria Bartiromo was saying, here, I'm going to throw the basketball up, Natalie, and you dunk it? It felt like that the whole time. So, look, we ain't done with this yet, folks. I have a feeling we're going to be revisiting this. Dark Defender. We know Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse told us there's no scenario, though, that we're going to settle unless there's absolute certainty about what XRP is on a go-forward basis. So settlement will define the way and basically the flip the switch moment. I am excited. Now, then there was this, and I said, when this is all over, I want to party with the Fox Business graphics guy, because I smell something here, folks. Now, look, there may not be a settlement today or whatever. There may not. That's fine. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying there's more to this story. That's what I'm saying, okay? But here's what Stuart Alderati said, what would have to happen for there to be a settlement.
Yes or no? Any settlement on the table?
We've said publicly since day one that this case settles if the SEC makes clear that Ripple sales and distributions of XRP and XRP's trading in the secondary market does not constitute a security. If they're willing to acknowledge that, the case settles and settles very, very quickly. Without that acknowledgement, we have no choice to continue to defend the case, and we're defending the case not only on behalf of Ripple, we're really defending this case on behalf of the entire crypto industry. Because if we're not going to get clarity through regulatory rulemaking, and we're getting deliberate confusion brought upon the market. If we're not going to get clarity through the legislative process, and there's some good faith efforts to make that work, the only other place where you can get clarity is through the judicial process, the litigation process, and that's where we're going to get it.
All right. And I'll go back to this because I can't leave this alone. They didn't, if they had told the graphics guy to type in, hey, type in SEC versus Ripple settlement could come, you know, I would understand. That's a teaser. I get it. Okay. It's a thumbnail. Okay. I get it. Had they said, hey, type in SEC versus Ripple settlement possibility, I would get it, because that's a thumbnail. They're just drawing people in. I get it. Had they had said, hey, type in breaking, could there be a Ripple SEC versus Ripple settlement, I would get it. That'd be a thumbnail. That'd be catching people, getting them to come and listen. But they got him to type SEC versus Ripple settlement expected tomorrow, which is extremely specific. And I said that. I even said, but it wasn't just that he typed it. It was that Maria Bartiromo said, I know you are expecting a SEC versus Ripple settlement tomorrow. So it wasn't that that the graphics guy made a mistake. She then said it, which means there is a here, there's a there, okay? That's not an accident. This was extremely intentional, and anybody that says otherwise just need to go find some more common sense, because you don't have any, okay? All right. Now, the James Phelan tweeted out yesterday that Judge Torres has granted the motions to file amicus brief for all these Coinbase, CCI, Val Hill, Cryptillion, VeriDAO, Reaper Financial, InvestReady, NSEI, and Paradigm. Stuart Alderati says amicus briefs provide independent and unique perspectives and explain practical and policy consideration that courts may want to consider when deciding a case. For those keeping score, the final Amici tally, supporting Ripple 14 versus SEC 2. That's good. Ripple, we're thrilled to announce that our on-demand liquidity solution is expanding via our partnership with MFS Africa. Africa holds 70% of the world's 1 trillion mobile money value, and ODL will further enhance digital payment rails across the continent. Now, I liked this tweet because this has a great sound to it, and it's a great thumbnail, isn't it? XRP is the green swan. We've talked about black swans, but the green swan. What are green swans? According to his book, green swans are solutions that take us exponentially toward breakthrough, or systemic, the way Brianna Madigan said it, systemic solutions to global challenges, solutions that tap into positive exponentials. They deliver exponential progress in the form of economic, social, and environmental wealth creation. As Elkington adds, too often black swans take you exponentially where you don't want to go, whereas green swans take you exponentially where you do want to go. Wouldn't it be interesting if we had the FTX black swan and then the XRP green swan back to back? Now, I want to show you this because I was smelling BS on this from the very beginning. When FTX first came out, I said, you know what? What's weird here is the first time I've ever heard of FTX is when Tom Brady is doing a I can't remember if it was a Super Bowl commercial, it was some kind of commercial. And I was like, well, who is that? Where's this coming out of nowhere? Well, here's the other thing. This is red flag city right here. Sam just listed his paid in Bahamas for 39, pad in the Bahamas for 39.5 million. But remember, that fake scam video with this guy, I'm not saying it's fake, he is. Sam was so humble about his Toyota Corolla and pretending to live a modest lifestyle. So here's the penthouse, and the story was, oh yeah, me and my 10 friends, we were just living in this we tried to get a nice place or whatever, and but then the media, but see, this is where my spidey sense, folks, this was coordinated. This was not just this guy who's a smart guy who went to MIT, who went and started FTX. This was a coordinated effort that didn't just involve the people behind him. This involved the media. You know how I know is because we've spent 2 years uncovering ETHgate, and the same group of traditional financial media and other media, the same group of people who were doing the alley-oops for the Ethereum guys, and the same people who were doing the Bitcoin Ethereum when it never made sense to me and you, the same freaking people were holding this guy up. Same group of people were holding FTX up. Same group of regulators were having meetings with him behind the scenes the way they did with Joseph Lubin. It's the same freaking group of people. And this was coordinated. And I'll show you. Look, I think it's even bigger than that, folks. I think that all of this stuff I think that this is literally a business model that is used over and over and over. Let me show you something, okay? And when you watch this, I'm not saying that Amazon was created by a bunch of bad guys. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that there's a cookie cutter that I believe that these powerful people behind the scenes use every once in a while because they know the American public believes it because they've seen the movie before. And so it's like they're writing a script and they're saying, okay, this we can sell. And it's like a production. Watch this.
In less than 5 years, Sam Bankman-Fried went from buying his first Bitcoin to becoming a crypto billionaire many, many times over, and he's just 30 years old. Sam.
While you're watching this, I want you to remember, that's CNBC covering this, okay? CNBC propped this guy up. Jim Cramer said he's the next JP Morgan. They spent all this time propping him up. And what else is CNBC? It's the same network that never has covered ETHgate. It's the same network that instead of covering ETHgate and putting a microphone in Jay Clayton's face and asking him questions about what went on, they hired him as a contributor. It's the same freaking people that propped FTX up. These guys were rolling FTX in there like it was the second coming, of Amazon or something like it.
Tell you he's always wanted to get rich, but not for the reasons you might expect. All that money, he plans to give most of it away to charity. Do you have a sense of how much you've given away so far?
It's a bit north of 100 million so far this year.
You're pretty low-key in terms of when we think about billionaires. You don't drive a Lambo?
No, I do not.
Is there anything you do splurge on?
The place I live was intended to be an incredibly nice apartment for 4 people, and we've turned it into an apartment for 10 people, but it's nice, although we'll try to.
He lives with roommates. One of them, a golden doodle named Gopher. That is Sam's Toyota Corolla in the park.
Oh, look how humble he is. He drives a Toyota Corolla. He doesn't care about money.
Out of FTX headquarters in the Bahamas. It's one of the largest and fastest growing crypto exchanges in the world.
This was all about money, folks. FTX had everything to do with money. But this was like a marketing program to make it look like it wasn't about money when it was all about money. That's the only thing it was about.
You yourself are worth somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today. I only say that because I've got a follow-up question.
Okay.
What's with the Honda?
This is a perfectly good car.
Another billionaire that's humble and drives a Honda Accord. Look at that. And you know what else they do? And you'll notice this. Look in the media. I think I saw one today, and I think they also said it about at the beginning of that clip. I think they said the same thing, that he wanted to give all of his money away. Let's see.
There's Sam Coin to becoming a crypto billionaire many, many times over, and he's just 30 years old. Sam will tell you he's always wanted to get rich, but not for the reasons you might expect. All that money, he plans to give most of it away to charity.
Yeah, see. I'm telling you, write it down. This is a freaking business model. They do this with all of the big guys. What they do, and CNBC is the one that does it a lot of times. Watch what they do. They want to give their fortune away, and they don't want to give their fortune away. I've seen them do this with Bill Gates. I've seen them do it with Warren Buffett. Anytime one of these billionaires wants to have a makeover or they want to paint them as this good guy, they put them on and say, oh, Warren Buffett has decided to give his fortune away. He's not giving his fortune away. I've had many discussions with my father, who's the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel. They're not giving their money away. What they're doing is they're forming a family foundation for tax purposes. They technically give all of their money away to the foundation for tax purposes, because once they give their money away to the foundation, they put their family members in perpetuity for future generations. For the rest of time, their family is going to run the foundation, and they're going to buy their fancy cars and their airplanes and all their stuff through the foundation. But they're going to go on CNBC, and CNBC is going to tell you they gave their money away. Then they're going to give the foundation's going to give X amount of money away to a charity every year. And they're going to paint them as the good guy. And you know why they do that, folks? You know why the billionaires and the big money people do that? And you know why they get CNBC and all these people to parade that out in front of people? It's because when the you know what hits the fan, and the American people and the hordes of people out there are dying in an economy where inflation is rampant as a result of what all these people have done, and people are like millions and millions and billions of people are hurting. This is how they keep the hordes away from their gates. It's literally a business model. I'm 48 years old. I've been around, folks. I've been around for a while, and that's the fact, Jack. I've seen all of this. Now, two more things I'm going to hit before we end this video. Breaking. FTX was buying tokens before they were listed on their platform just to dump on their users after listing them. FTX was basically front-running and insider trading. Then this, breaking. Three Arrows Capital breaks silence, says that FTX and Alameda hunted their positions during the Luna collapse. I've heard BitBoy say that all of these collapses came from FTX. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard him say it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that you're literally watching scripted things. It just is what it is, folks. I mean, I know many people would love to believe that what you see on TV and all these things, that's just a coincidence. No, there are